Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. Time to shine the light on women's basketball with assistant coach Rebecca Tillett, who's the associate head coach here now at the Naval Academy. Let's backtrack a little bit. Do you still have "Life is not a hamburger, you can't get it your way"? Do you still have that T-shirt? And if so, where can we get one?
I do not have the T-shirt, but I have many memories of that being referred to in my family growing up, for sure.
You know, you come from a wonderful coaching lineage and family. What were some of those coaching discussions like as you obviously honed your skills at the high school level before arriving here at the academy?
Yeah, I think, my dad was, a highly regarded high school coach. Just recently had the soccer field named after him at Osborne Park High School, which was a great moment for our family. But I think Sunday night dinners, discussing our teams and having that many coaches in the room to discuss dynamics, strategy, just how to get people to work together and achieve great results. I was really fortunate to have all those people helping me along the way.
How do you think those discussions helped you all help each other?
Yeah, I think one thing my dad said to me one time was, sometimes I don't remember something I did maybe 7 years ago until we're in a discussion about it. And that comes back in coaching. And Steph and I have had that discussion over the years about things we've done in the past that work with the team or work with a player. And we have so many experiences as coaches that those things sometimes circle around. So I think just having someone else's perspective and that they've had those similar experiences, they might have some light to shine on an issue for you.
When you moved from Osborne Park, obviously, to Forest Park, it's a big jump, certainly a more highly visible program. Was that a nervous experience, or was it just one of those situations where, hey, I understand what I'm stepping into here.
Right.
Let's just coach and let it take on a life of its own?
Yeah, I think it definitely had challenges, at the beginning of just, I wanted to push myself as a coach. And I felt like at Osborne Park, we had done some really good stuff. But when that opportunity presented itself, it was like, this will really put a challenge on you. Rebecca, what do you got? What can you do? And when I got there, just, the really high expectations of the players, an assistant saying to me early on, you can talk about a state championship anytime you want here. And just that perspective, for myself of like, you can. We were building towards that at Osborne Park, but it wasn't already in place. And of course, when I got to Forest Park, they'd already won two. So the expectation was that we would do something similar.
Well, of course, now, as you join here, the expectation, jumping right into a program that has established itself as one of the tops in the Patriot League. As you made the jump from high school to college, what was that like? Because clearly, even though it's coaching, it is a different level of coaching now.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things I noticed right away was just that as a high school coach, you are as prepared for opponents as kind of what they've given you and how much you've researched. When you get to the college game, you have more opponents. They have more sets, more ideas, offensive ideas, defensive ideas that you have to respond to. So I think that was a learning curve for me, certainly at the beginning, just seeing all the different things that a team might throw at us, and maybe Steph asking me in a conversation, well, what if they do this? What if they do that? And me thinking, okay, what did they do? So what are we going to do? And so that was definitely a learning curve early on, just the amount of offenses and defenses that we could be exposed to.
What has this process been like, obviously now on the recruiting trail where, every time you go speak to a young person, you certainly want them to come to your place. You sell your place the best you can, but at the same time, there's probably 10 other people waiting out there to do the same thing, and you have to kind of play that waiting game to see if they're going to come to your program.
Absolutely. Even playing Army the other night, we're looking at their roster and our roster and kind of who's been both places, We don't get in a ton of head-to-head recruiting battles with them, but we get in some. And I think just that opportunity to be with a young woman and her family and say what is so great about the Naval Academy. I mean, the amount of times we go into a home or get off of a phone call with someone and they go, I didn't know all of those, opportunities that were present, or the history of the program. We just had all of our alums here this weekend for the Army game, and then, of course, for our alumni events. And just the things that they discuss, and even when I'm getting responses from alumni if they're going to come or not, and someone says, well, actually, I'm in Italy this year, but I'll be there next year. I mean, that's so unique to our recruiting process compared to other universities in the country.
I was going to say, what is it, instead of being able to say, hey, we can offer you, mass comm degree, nursing degree.
Right.
We can help you become a pilot. We can put you in a submarine. We can help, you can get into, operations warfare with the CIA and things of that nature. What is it like to go out and sell that type of opportunity to people?
Right. I think, we say we're looking for adventurous women, women who want to do something great and want to be challenged from the time they get here until they finish their career with the Navy. And we've had so much success with that. We were in a meeting one time with Sarita Condia, one of our seniors from last year, and we're doing a postseason meeting with her, looking over her stats and everything. And we're talking and talking, and Steph says, how much time do you have, Sarita? And Sarita says, I have 6 minutes left. And just what they learn as far as time management and leadership and those things that I think are present at academies, even more than other universities. And it's a unique path, but for the women that choose to do it, I think the rewards and the relationships they build are really great.
When you lose the caliber of people that you all lost last year, there was probably outside of the building some thought that there might be a little bit of drop-off with this team. But boy, did this team hit the ground running.
Yeah.
How refreshing was it to see young women take that opportunity and say, hey, they may think of us as one thing, but inside this building, our expectation is to win every night.
Absolutely. And I think our women embraced that from the start of preseason when we were working on unit cohesion training all the way through practices beginning and games starting. And even when the first game comes around, there's always a question. Even when, as a staff, we know, okay, we've got talent in the room, we've got people ready to go. It's what are they going to do together? What kind of chemistry are they going to build? And so that's been really fun to watch with this team and even watch us recover from, the bumps that come along through a season, whether that's an injury or a loss or challenges that we face together. And just to see where we are right now is really exciting for this group.
In a basketball game, on the men's side, it's usually the first 5 minutes of the second half. In the women's game now, it's the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. What was it like to see this team play the way they did in the third quarter on Sunday? Because that's as good a quarter of basketball, I think, as anybody could play under those circumstances against their arch rival.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just, the way that they play together when they hit those strides offensively is just so fun to watch. The way we share the ball, the way people celebrate one another's good plays. I mean, as coaches, we teach that. We're trying to get that out of every team. But wow, that quarter, just to kind of watch it develop in that manner. And then even today, like I'm supposed to meet with Taylor. Steph and I wanted her to look at her turnovers and her assists, and we're meeting and Taylor's response is, I can't wait to get better. I mean,
right.
What more can you ask for as coaches?
But isn't that the kind of player, though, that becomes a great player, and a great player allows you to become a great team because you have people that take that view as opposed to, hey, I scored 21 points. I don't need to go put in that extra time.
And that's what makes us great coaches, when we find those players that have that inside of them. And, we just had a bunch of kids over there working out in the gym on their own or asking coaches to rebound for them. So all of that matters to our success, and we're really excited about what this group continues to do in that manner, and they know that they'll need to do that through the end if we want to achieve our goals.
I know you all put sets in and stuff like that, but especially in that third quarter, it almost looks like as if there's an allowance of some free form, and because Taylor and Hannah and others can make the play, can make the extra pass, it seems as if you all allow that as long as they're doing it responsibly and not hurting the team.
Yeah, I think Steph enjoys that as a coach. She likes players that see things, and as long as they can make it happen and articulate, why that might be good for our team, then they do have that freedom. And I think that when we see our team sharing the ball at that level and just hitting shots like that, it's a combination of both. The set that kind of gets them in the position and then their freedom and expression in basketball.
Big week for you all starts obviously Wednesday night with a home game against Lafayette, a much improved Lafayette team.
Yes.
No doubt about that. What kind of challenge do you see with them coming to town on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, I think just they're playing with a new level of confidence with their success they've had early on in the program. And we know in this league, each Patriot League team is a challenge, and just the way that teams prep for us and the coaching staff's work. And then, of course, just the fact that they're new coaching staff always adds a little bit of uncertainty for us, as far as what they might try or ideas they might have that they think will work against us that maybe someone else hasn't tried yet.
All right, appreciate the time today. Good luck on Wednesday night.
Thank you so much.
All right, Associate Head Coach Rebecca Tillett joining us here. Mids and Lafayette Wednesday night. Joe Miller will have the call on the Patriot League Network. You can get the live link by going to NavySports.com.